The other game that kicked off well before this, the Lions beat the Bucs 24-9. Chris, the story of this game was that the Lions secondary, which is held together by toothpicks and bubblegum right now, was the story. I mean, Baker looked as vulnerable as we've seen him all year.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was missing throws, he wasn't comfortable, and it feels like schematically this team looked really, really good with just bodies out there.
They did. And first off, it just speaks to their team and Brad Holmes, and we're getting into. Yeah, backup DBs, but you look at him and you go, wait, that guy's been a pretty good player for other teams before. These are, Amik Robertson. Damn, Amik Robertson was freaking good on the Raiders, So they got a lot of guys like that where you go, wow, they've got incredible team building. That's where I think they're special. Their depth, their second and third teamers, you still go, hey, they're pretty good players. Like, this is not that bad. And, fortunately for them, they're healthy up front. They're still big as hell up front on the defensive line, and you saw that the Tampa Bay O-line cannot push them around. And we know Tampa's O-line's not 100%, but that's an issue. And then I think the Detroit, especially on the defensive side of the ball, first off, their second level plays downhill all game long. That's where when it's run, it's just like, oh my God, their second level is at the line of scrimmage or in the back of the backfield, almost instantly all the time. So they bring the fight to you that way. And with what they do scheme-wise and that too, like, hey, going back and watching the Chiefs game last week, the Chiefs weren't as open as you think they were. Right. It just was like, man, Mahomes was on it. It was great decisions, quick throws, and all that. It was better than you expected. And then you get into this week, and what I saw, at least on TV, they're going to play man. We know that, right? And they play man in a way where they play percentages and route reading a little bit. It's almost like teams somehow play zones. So They do that. And then they also throw zones in there to mix it up. So when you go, oh, wait, we've gotten 2 or 3 man plays the last few times we've been in passing situations. Then they perfectly are good to go, oh, no, we're not going to give it to you again. We know we gave it to you 2 or 3 times in a row, and now you're going to call something to gash it. We're going to call something else. So they're good at mixing it up that way. But, yes, they play tendencies, and this to me is a big part. And this is something to me I think Tampa needs to kind of reevaluate. Tampa gets in too many formations where all the eligibles are on one side of the field. And that's good in some ways. I don't mind it.
Right.
But when you overdo it, right, teams can start to find tendencies of like, wait, if it's one tight end to the left and 3 receivers to the right, usually there's one guy you can read and you go, well, we know what the other 2 guys are going to do off of that, right? And that's when you play and put all your eligibles on one side like that. You can play man in those situations, and they go, wait, we want you to play man here. We're going to have somebody, a safety, protecting you if they run this little route here to do
pass
it.
them off
but overplay, like we think once the inside of the 3 receivers goes to the flat, the other 2 receivers are going to go on some sort of out route too, right? So overplay that. And that's where I think Detroit is really good. So they can play man-to-man, and they can teach it almost like zones and tendencies and go, hey, we're playing man-to-man here. We teach you all week. When they do this, like you're looking at the play like this right now. See what I mean? So they have a good feel for how they're being attacked going into the game, and they come up with a game plan to go, yeah, it's man-to-man, but we feel like we know the routes you're going to run, and we've coached our guys off of that, and where we're a little vulnerable, we'll have one guy, a free man, just kind of sitting there to go, hey, quarterback, you can't just throw it there. He's
exactly
there.
what they did.
Right?
And it was on third downs.
So that's what they do. And you saw my text a few times during the game where I felt like they showed the sky cam and they showed it, and I went, look, they're playing man. They're expecting out-breaking routes by everybody. So the DBs are all playing outside leverage or whatever else. And then they would have a linebacker spying, but not really spying because they're worried about Baker Mayfield running, spying because they're going, wait, we're playing a man defense where we're expecting outside routes, but if they run inside, one guy runs inside, we got to have somebody there.
Yep.
And they played spy on Baker Mayfield where they just played read his eyes, and he's going to look outside. He might have one guy coming over the middle, and that's where we want you to read his eyes and get your hands up as a linebacker. Remember early in the game, I texted you, I said, they're spying him just to bat the ball down.
Right.
That's what they're doing.
Disrupt his passing
Disrupt the lane. They go, wait, there's going to maybe give me one guy that comes through this area. We got to have somebody there. And that's to me where you go, hey, Kelvin Shepard, D coordinator. Ooh, I like what you're doing. I like the way he coaches that defense. And when they're healthy, they're going to be scary good.
So what I love about the point you made is what they did was with those doubles on third downs when Mike Evans came out of the game.
Yeah, right.
They were using that safety against Ibuka. So they had man coverage up front against Ibuka, and then as soon as he ran a deeper out, safety
they
was
had
on
somebody
him.
over
And
there.
Baker tried to force it, but you can't throw a perfect ball in that situation.
No, right.
And
yeah, they'll cheat, and they'll take chances to where you'll go, wait, this is, they're playing man-to-man. They have a single safety in the defense, and they'll tell that single safety, hey, if they get in this formation and you see this, go ahead and jump one side of the field and help this guy out, right? And that's what they do. So, again, I think it goes back to their aggressiveness, their coaching style, they're creative, they're well thought out. The way they prepare during the week sets them up to really play tendencies of an offense. And that was just something that jumped out. So now you control the run game, and then, okay, we're all over their pass game a little bit, and I think that's why you saw an underwhelming performance from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last
And on
night.
offense, they did what they do. They want to establish the run. Now, they don't always hit big plays like a 78-yard touchdown run.
Right.
But it goes back to our combo we had a couple weeks ago, Chris, where you were going over the players that, like, can and can't break one away. And Jahmyr Gibbs, there's a reason he's as regarded as he is. When you can kill an angle of a safety.
Exactly. I know they want to give the ball to Montgomery, and they came into the game this week saying we want to give him the ball more. But at the same time, it's scary because you go, wait, when we give this guy touches, it's like 1 out of every 4 touch. Right. It's like, watch out, he might go to the house. He's one of the most explosive people in football. So you couple that, then along with Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's explosive as hell. And then you got a Jameson Williams who's scary too. And defense has always got to respect him taking the top off the defense. And then it's like, oh, wait, so we worried about all that. And then they got these intermediate guys where Amon-Ra's also an intermediate guy. And Laporta's in the intermediate passing game. And they know how to use Gibbs in the passing game. And you just go, holy crap, what do we defend?
Right.
And that's where they're incredible that way. And this Tampa defense, yeah, they lit up big plays and the numbers look a little crazy. But they actually did a really good job, I thought, for the situations they were in and just limiting. Like the first half was the Tampa offense couldn't do anything. Detroit was in one good situation after another. And it felt like on the verge of like, oh, man, they might make the play here to go score and put another one. And Tampa would come up with a play and kept the team in the game. I think Troy said it at one point because the numbers were crazy in the first half for the Detroit offense where he went, I know the stats look like this, but Tampa's defense is doing a great job. And I was like, they are. You're right. That's why you can't look at the stats. They were in some bad spots, but they hold down the fort long enough to let the offense get going, make a few plays, and all of a sudden we look up and we go, damn, it's 14-9. They're getting their ass whooped, and it's 14-9. Here we go. And then, of course, we know Detroit answers, and that's kind of all she wrote after Gibbs had that 5-yard touchdown run to go up 21-9.
I guess if there's anything to nitpick with the Lions, everybody's kind of wondering what's going on with Jameson Williams.
Yeah, I know.
Here.
I know.
This is a funny comment from Mojal. It said, J-Mo has the best job. Wish I could make $80 million and not do anything. Do you think it's as simple as he's not doing anything, or is there still an effect of his presence that it opens?
I think his effect does not go in the stat sheet, and I also think. If there's something maybe I've looked at to go, hey, John Morton's doing an amazing job. Yeah. So I'm not trying, he's doing amazing. But if there's something that I would go, it's not quite as good as last year, Ben Johnson is a master of finding 3 or 4 plays a game to go, wait, I got him here. They're doing this against us. Now I'm going to send Jameson deep on this play right here because I think we got him. I've got their tendencies or how they play this formation or this scheme or whatever, and having that right feel for when to take the shot to Jameson. And that, to me, is something they're missing right now. Doesn't look like they're game planning maybe as many shots going into the game. Like, I think Ben Johnson went into every game going, I got 8 or 10 plays where there's shot plays for Jameson. I'm not going to call them all. Right. I'm going to probably only call 3 or 4 of them, but I got them ready in case they play a certain style. And I got 1 or 2 that I'm calling no matter what because in my preparation, I know it's going to have a chance to be there, right? And I do think that's maybe missing in their offense a little bit right now as compared to last year.
Yeah, and to be fair to them, as Morton, who's gotten so much better since week 1.
Yes, right.
They're back to their roots of the 2-headed monster at running back,
right,
feeding Amon-Ra.
Right.
going to the tight ends when they need to.
Exactly right.
Yeah, Jameson's probably we might need this in a playoff game.
Yeah, well, yes. Or as we go forward here, now the way they're playing and they're being so effective, teams are going to start playing them in a way where it's going to become a little bit more aggressive. They're going to go, man, we can't let Jahmyr Gibbs just run for 7 and Montgomery run for 4 or 5 every play. We can't let them throw a screen out here to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and now he runs for another 8 or 9 yards. And that's where it just, the time will come. The time will come. But I do think they need to do a little bit better job of finding ways. Like Ben Johnson was also good at giving him a reverse or stuff like that.
That's what surprises me.
That's where they got to find another little part in their play sheet to go, wait, these are Jameson's plays, and I got to get to a few of them every game.
The last note from this game, and it's an unfortunate one. Mike Evans is going to be out long-term with the broken collarbone. It's going to be the end of an 11-season streak of 1,000 yards. I think that's one of the most incredible things in this era of sports.
It's man, that hurt. I love Mike Evans. I've been around him as a guy a few times in my life. He's awesome. I love the Bucs. They got a special place in my heart. I know how much they love him down there. And, that was unfortunate. I mean, that was brutal. At first, I was like, what is wrong with him?
Looked like he got knocked out.
It looked like he was knocked out, plus, totally uncomfortable. And he wasn't grabbing his shoulder. Mostly people with a collarbone, they're usually they're grabbing that shoulder pad. Like, wait, something really hurts underneath there, right? I mean, he was woozy. Then he got up, and he still wasn't grabbing anything. So I was like, oh, yeah, he must have got knocked out. That must have been that. But, unfortunate to see that. And, they're gonna miss him, as we know, because he's one of those guys that can make a big play. Or if he's covered, he can still catch the ball, like on that play there where he almost hauled it in. Yo, homies, it's time to watch some games. That's right. We're on to the NFL season here with Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, Sunday night recaps after every game, and much, much more.
Thanks for watching. Peace out, homies. Remember, subscribe. Peace out.